I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
And you got the entire village here. Because we got the village in a live chat as we're doing the live stream. Okay.
Rise against black masks and gasoline for Andreas.
For the big homie Andreas. For time and topical political commentary, you can hit us up in Middle America with Vin and Sori. There are multiple ways to get your song reviewed, dear listener. My favorite is the community option. $1 to get you that Patreon where you will meet the amazing Leah. Also, anytime that you talk on Patreon and we respond, it's 99.99999% of the time Sori. If you want to talk to your brother, vinandsori@gmail.com. So that's one way. $1 to gate, you pull your points together, and then that determines what songs we do. Those are called Alliance Picks. You guys have seen that for the last couple of weeks.
You're not guaranteed to get your reaction on a live stream like this. So sorry.
Well, if you want to be guaranteed and you want to have it on the live stream, then what you can do is the Filthy Capitalist option. 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. And then if you put in the notes, I want you to do it on a live stream, that's fine. Maybe we can coordinate. Sori's going to be mad at me because that's going to create more work for her. I can already see
firing off on all cylinders.
I can already see that you're mad as hell about that. I'm going to pay for that later. So anyway, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You do that 3 times, you get knocked down at a $75 rate. Yep. There's also a tier where you can actually do the song reaction with us. I think somebody's doing that.
Neil is. Yeah. He's on the chat tonight as well.
Yeah, Neil's in the chat.
Yeah.
Neil's one of my favorite. He's the guy from Australia, right?
I don't know. He's wearing the hat.
Yeah, he's
I don't know where he's located. I don't stalk the man.
I don't know.
Okay,
so
ready.
Inshallah, he's from Australia or New Zealand.
Right.
Because if he's from like Wyoming or something like that, he's like, fuck all of you. Mm-hmm. This is Rise Against Black Mass and Gasoline. Let's go.
All right.
Simply because you can breathe doesn't mean you're alive or that you really live. This life has taken its toll. She just doesn't know how much more she can give. But here, from the top of the world, where I raise my hands and I clench my fists, they stand before me below, demanding the answers with flips of a switch. I don't understand where you got this idea so deeply ingrained in your head. Something that you must impress, 'cause I couldn't care less. A need for revolution rising, it comes to the surface, gasping for air. And we're not putting up with this planet one more day, much less one more year. I don't understand where you got this idea so deeply ingrained in your head. Something that you must impress, 'cause I couldn't care less. Swear, and now, in our running nation, the blood and bars, it's all on our heads. Now we live in fear of our own potential to win, to lose. It's all on our heads now.
I like punk and
Yeah.
metal at the same time. Get that like Blink 182 type of
And I have an American dream, but it involves black masks and gasoline. One down, turn these mobs into screens, and a woman turned its back down on me. I don't understand where you got this idea so deeply ingrained in your head. Something that you
Oh no!
It was super short.
No!
Yeah, that's it. You know what? I've been thinking a lot actually about the need or desire to impress other people and how many hoops people jump through to get there.
Yeah.
And once you get stuck in that mindset and that way of thinking, it's hard to get out of it. Because you just naturally make decisions that way.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I agree with that.
And like it's kind of like when he said like where did you I don't understand where you got this idea so deeply ingrained in your head that this world is something that you must impress, because I couldn't care less.
It sounds like a conversation between me and you. It sounds like
I know.
used to have from way back in the day.
But I know where I got my ideas. I know where I got that. That was something that was very much promoted in my family. You embarrassed us, or wow, you guys really did good. Like it was all about like what it looked like. That was the big thing. And then it was super frustrating getting with you. I'm like, do you know? You name me one other woman that would be blah 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 blah. And you were like, I don't care about any other woman. Like this is about you and this is about me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like who cares?
I'm like, how is this not a good answer? It was so frustrating.
Yeah.
Like, well, what would people say, babe?
Yeah.
And he's like,
well, I think about it, but a lot of it has to do with my upbringing, because that's how my mom was. She didn't care. You know, I told her the story about like, we're at Walmart and there was something that was clearly like, I forgot, it was very expensive. It's like a $400 thing or something like that. Mm-hmm. And the person, you know how people like, they'll put stuff down or whatever. So they put the thing down in the clearance rack. And the lady, she rang it up and sure it was $400. And my mom was like, nah, I got that in the clearance rack. And the lady made a mistake and said, yeah, I know, I saw you, but that's not, she should have never said that.
Right.
Because that was it. Yeah, my mom was.
Honor the price.
Yeah, she said she saw the thing, blah, blah, blah. And the manager showed up and said, ma'am. And he was kind of like, be reasonable. My mom was, nah, bro.
No, not
We walked
not
out of
all.
there. That shit was $400. I'm sure he must have paid out of pocket. Something must have happened, but. I mean, that's how it was. That's how she just didn't care. She didn't care. And then the other thing is, like, we moved around so much. I wasn't.
My meme didn't care.
Yeah, she, just don't care. But.
My meme didn't care at all.
Like, everybody's, like, especially in the metal community, like, that's a like, goal that people want to attain to, like, really not care about. But that's not true. Like, and it's something I've had to learn too. It's like, because you can take anything too far, right? Like, so for example, like, I can't say, well, I don't care what Sori thinks. It's like, what do you mean you don't care? She's married. Well, you're married. You have to care what your wife thinks about something. Like, you can't just go, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Right? And so, like, you kind of have to, and with you, it's not really that hard because, like, if I'm off or something with you, like, I know it immediately. You know what I'm saying? I very much value, time with you and not arguing and fighting with you. Where I feel like I need to improve is like, friendships where, because I always see those as, so again, you're growing up, like I'm in homeless shelters with my mom and my brothers and all that. So like, if it's your family, not like friends or family, like no, like family, like, then that's one thing. Everybody else, it was just like, because everything else was a temporal type of relationship. We're not going to be here long. Mm-hmm. We're going somewhere else. So why am I going to sit and invest? So like that still carries over like into my adult life. Like it's very easy to just be like, oh, okay. And like there's one particular person who like I think to myself like, I genuinely love the dude. But it's online, and then there's a couple things where, because I got my little code or whatever, there's a couple things where I'm like, oh, that's a bit shit, like I need to go back and talk about something about it. It's like, come on, man, like, I have a very hard time with, like, respecting that, but at the same time, it's like, I do consider the dude a genuine friend, but it's very hard to, like, not have that, like, man, fuck, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm being very general because there's folks here that know him and they're gonna go back and whatever. But, like, So that's what I'm like trying to work on and like try to, you know, because it's like I'm not in that situation anymore. I'm not gonna move in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So me, like, it's too much on the other side. Like, it's not good. It's not good to not care about what anybody says. Mm-hmm. But I think like when you put yourself in a situation where when he's talking about the world, and like. That's different. Like, you should care about what your close friends and family say, but you can't worry about the world because everybody's got a different, you know.
And you literally, I remember that people saying that phrase, you can't make everybody happy. Yeah. And like, I'm like, this is so true. That's so true. You can't. And I used to like try so hard to make everybody good around me, but you know, honest to goodness, like having multiple kids. It pushes you to your limits because you can't make all of them happy. Somebody is just gonna wake up in a mood because we have teenagers, and somebody's gonna be great. Somebody's gonna love the fact that I made X, Y, and Z thing for supper. Somebody else is gonna hate it. Like I'm still.
You make supper?
I'm still trying to find the meal that everybody likes. I didn't make any tonight, but the past few nights I made the bourbon chicken.
Yeah.
But. Not everybody likes everything. There's always people that are not happy. But I think that, you know people going into debt because they're trying to impress people around them. Spending more money than they have to impress. That phrase, you spend more money. You spend more money you don't have to impress people you don't like. And why do you do it?
Right.
Why do you do it? Yeah. Why are you trying to impress these people? You don't even like them. But.
Yeah, but. And it's
stuck in there like a hamster in a wheel sometimes.
You know, it's very strange though, because you're doing a reaction channel, right? Which is, you know, if you go to any of these trainings on YouTube, that they you know, because there's trainings for this stuff to, you know, whatever, get your channel up or whatever. Most of them are bullshit. Like, oh, get to 1,000 subs, blah blah blah. Like, oh, just public service. You're trying to start a YouTube channel, like. There are very few of these training courses that you should jump on, to be honest with you. Like, the thing is not as complicated as people are trying to make it sound. It's really not.
Well, I don't know. We were stacked before we started. You know what I mean? Like, we already had done things where we did a lot of public speaking, so it was easier to kind of jumpstart something like this. I don't know if you don't like public speaking and how that would work.
Yeah, but none of these courses are going to help you with that.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, they try to add all this. There's only like 3 or 4 things that you really need to do consistently to do okay on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And, you know, initially we had, you know, I had a certain goal initially, and now our goals have changed.
Yep.
And so because of that, you know, you have different perspectives, and then you can turn on the spigot or turn it off depending on what you're trying to accomplish. Mm-hmm. But it is interesting in the social media world, though, where you could make a lot of money based on what people think of you.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, so I was watching a clip with Joe Rogan, and it was like the moral implications of being an Instagram model. And I didn't really like...
The moral implications?
Yeah. But I didn't know that there were things called Instagram models, and sure enough, it's... regular girls, I mean, regular as in like they're not famous, but they put all these pictures out on Instagram, and they blow up, and you can make hella money on Instagram. And they do, that's what they do. And so it's like, before you could say, what does it get you if somebody has a good opinion of you? Well, now you can monetize people's good opinion of you. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, this is written in 2003. Some of the stuff I'm not sure if it actually works in the current age that we're in, because you immediately start feeling that pressure. I remember when we first started the channel, people were like, oh, you guys are going to blow up, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know how we are with abortion or with God and the Bible. We're never going to compromise who we are. So you'd have people say, man, I love you, but you guys talk about religion too much. Stop talking about religion. Or I said something positive about Trump. Stop talking about Trump. I'm not going to watch it anymore. I'm like, but, you know, I was like, man, fuck you. Like, get the fuck out of here. I'll talk about Trump more, bitch. Like, but that's because I have that type of person. Yeah. And we were not financially dependent on YouTube. So it's like, okay, what would happen if we were, and I didn't have that type of background, like, you definitely, and I see it because I talk to other YouTubers, and you know, there was one specifically when we first started, and like she had to take a couple mental health breaks because those comment sections are brutal.
There's a few people that have had to.
A couple people that had to. Yeah, the comment sections were brutal.
Yeah, and
brutal,
for me,
especially the women.
The comment sections are, you know, there was one that hit me hard, and then there was another one that hit me hard like a week or two ago, that I laughed at initially, but then after it started really making me very sad.
Yeah, and you know.
And it's so true, like, I don't even know why that one person's comment bothered me. You know.
Yeah, but, so yeah, and you are pretty, you're a very beautiful woman, very, you know, so it's like, if it could happen to you, definitely, you know, this other girl who has a channel, like, you know, she's nowhere, you know, and it just, people were just absolutely horrible to her, you know, and she started, you know, when your channel hits a certain number, you get companies start reaching out to you and saying, hey, if you do this, you know, we'll give you this and we'll give you X. You get these advertising deals. So she got a couple deals, and I knew immediately what happened. She took the first, you know, they said, we'll give you, because YouTubers, unless you have a very good system, YouTubers don't make a lot of money. People have like this strange thing that like,
I know. Yeah.
Once you have, like, and that's why we make the decisions that we do and the things that we do. And people are like, you know, your sub count is, you know, blah, 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 blah. It's like, the sub count is not lucrative.
Right.
The views are not lucrative.
Right.
But unless you're inside and you can actually see these people's, you know, PPE and everything, like, people don't, people have no idea.
If you're doing something where it's completely your own content, if you're not reacting, then wouldn't the views be, that would be good. The more views and the more subs you have would be. If
you do it completely, well, but again, this was one of these start reactors where they were getting revenue off of it. But again, it's not that much.
Yeah.
It's definitely not something to live off of, especially in this economy. So she got a couple of marketers reached out to her and threw out like a $700 or something like that. So she starts modeling these clothes. You remember that? And I was like, I was cringing, but I was cringing because I knew what was about to happen. Like, I knew she was about to get crucified in her comment section. I knew it. I was saying to myself, there's no way, there's only going to be two types of responses here. One are going to be disgusting, misogynistic, hey, take it all off, and then the other was going to be, and she got absolutely blasted for it. You know, and obviously, emotionally, it was not worth, you know, the $750 or whatever it is they threw out to her. And so now it's this very strange situation where people's opinion of you has a dollar figure attached to it. You know, and I think us being married is actually really, really good for us. You know what I'm saying? Because I just think it takes away a lot of things because you always have somebody in your corner that's going through it with you at the same time. If somebody says something reckless about you, they're talking about my girl, right? Then I'd be like, oh, okay. You know, like, you wouldn't say that shit to my face, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Whereas she was by herself. And a lot of these people are by themselves when they're dealing with this stuff. So it's a weird thing to think about in our current situation. Like the stuff that, it's just so weird. Like the stuff that your parents used to say to you is not relevant anymore. Like if you're playing video games for 14 hours a day, it's like your parents used to say to you, you think that's gonna pay the bills?
Right. Well,
a kid could say, yeah, bitch, it'll pay the bills. And then your parent smacks you because you called your mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the world has changed. So this is a really I have a simplistic view of the world. Who cares what people think about you?
Right.
But now it's like, I don't know, bro. Like, and then the other thing, like if you talk about social media, you know, back in the day, if some embarrassing thing happened to you, like, people would make fun of you for a week, and then something embarrassing would happen to somebody else, and they make fun of them for a week and completely forget about you. No, not anymore. They fucking live stream that shit. They, you know, whatever. These kids are jumping off bridges and killing themselves, bro. Like that poor gay kid, you know, like, he hadn't come out yet to his family, and his roommate or his college buddy knew that he was gay, recorded him, and blasted it to everybody on Facebook. The kid killed himself.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah,
so this
that's-
whole, you kind of have to like change your strategy now as a parent if you're talking to your kids about this stuff, because these simplistic things, like, it doesn't work now. Yeah, I have to care about what people think about me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, holy shit, that's crazy. And then of course, you know, it's like the future Antifa people of the world.
Yeah,
where he
that
says,
was pretty crazy.
He says, I've got an American dream. It involved black masks and gasoline.
I know. I was like, what?
One day I'll turn these thoughts into screams. That's 2003. So, like, if you were like a hard left guy at 2003, you were against the war, right? The war in Iraq really started in, was it 2004 when it really popped off? Is that it? But now I think he probably would have wrote those lyrics a little bit differently now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you got all the Antifa people. But yeah, it was a really good song. It's kind of short. Kind of bugged me a little bit about how short it was, but it was still a decent song. It's a solid 7.5 for me. What'd you give it?
7.9.
7.9. There you go. Good song. Just chill out on the black mass and the gasoline, guys, because, you know, that could get you in a lot of trouble.
Wait, I said 7.9? I meant 8.9.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So sorry, 8.9.
Vin out.
Sorry out.
Gone.